never saw you at Mass a day in your life. And yet, you were blessed tonight, weren't you?
I killed my Julie tonight. And my boys, they killed my boys.
You know, I hate to tell you this, but you could have brought them back. Just as Sturge apparently brought you back, which was something we discussed only doing in rare and specific. It's fine. But yes, you could have saved them.
Someone...
I don't know what's happening. What's happening?
You know?
All those days you turned your back on God. Well, the tools for your salvation were always there. The doors were always open, but you didn't.
Making it sound like if you don't worship God, you'll be punished. That's not how it works.
I wish you peace and God's mercy. No room for him inside, I'm afraid.
Bitch. Oh, of course, right.
Saved him, Bev.
She's turned against her. You fucking sheep. She's gonna choose who's gonna be saved and not, right? Her word is law.
Sorry, Howard. Sorry.
So yeah. So he transferred him, he killed his wife, his boys, and he cannot even be saved in the reg center.
Sure.
And he didn't ask for this shit.
I know you. Bring him in. You follow me, son. You're welcome in St. Patrick's. Oh, welcome! I'll have to be welcome, or this isn't really a God's house!
The timing sucks. Oh no! Why didn't you wait till morning and then spray the building? And it's his daughter, like he... What are you gonna do? He needs to save her.
Good.
Okay.
You got the path through the vestibule, head for water.
That was the idea.
God, I'm proud of you. I'm sorry that we never told you, your mother and I, but I love you so much. And I've been so proud of you, and I just wish that we had gotten to know each other. And at the back, I'll take care of you.
Oh, he's gonna go crazy. He's gonna go crazy. Oh shit. Is he? I want him to go crazy.
He was gonna...
Yep, it's deserved. Because people are fucking sheep. Tell me, do you think everyone is gonna die but the priest, the mom, and the daughter now that she's changed and they'll get to live for eternity as a family? I don't know.
John?
That would be a way to end this. Just to make sure, add some blood.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe she never drank and she will reject it. Like, that's her choice.
Favorite place on the whole island was that little bridge by the marsh.
So you're gonna go to the bridge and burn together? Sheriff, get the hell out! Wait for sunrise! Why can't you wait for sunrise? Unless he doesn't want to give them a place to hide. Oh. A place to hide? Well, once they're in the building, it's over. Yeah.
I just can't let you have that building. That's all. I'm pretty sure it's the last one left.
Surprised you made your move when it was empty, coward.
It's not, though, is it? Empty, I mean.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. We just need to burn it. You just need to burn it. He's gonna do it.
No.
Everyone is gonna just die.
This is verse in the Bible. It's kind of stuck with me. He makes the sun rise on the evil and the good.
Dad! Dad!
Can we kill this thing? Make sure he can't get away. That thing loves blood so much it doesn't even react. No, because you burned everything else. Because you were crazy.
Nowhere else. You burned it.
Yeah.
Burned it all.
No.
You condemned everyone, bitch.
Oh, we should be looking for Lisa. Let's go find Lisa.
I'm just glad that she's gonna burn and die alone. Yeah. MVP, I swear. She is such a good person. Oh shit! Start running, I guess. Can't leave the island, no place left.
It's heading west.
It's trying.
It's running. It's running from the sunrise.
Do you think it can make it? Before the sunrise?
30 miles. I mean, that thing can barely fly. I don't think it can.
What happens? So what do you think happens when we die here?
The body stops a cell at a time, but the brain keeps firing those neurons. Little lightning bolts like fireworks inside, and I thought I'd despair or feel afraid, but I don't feel any of that. I'm too busy in this moment, remembering. The electrons of my body mingle and dance with the electrons of the ground below me and the air. I'm no longer breathing. And I remember. There is no point where any of that ends and I begin. I remember I am energy, not memory, not self. I was before them and I will be after, and everything else is pictures, picked up along the way. More galaxies in the universe than grains of sand on the beach, and that's what we're talking about when we say God, the One. We are the cosmos dreaming of itself. I am everything. I am all. I am that I am.
It's a beautiful way to see it. This episode is beautifully done.
I can't feel my legs.
Which means the thing died. At least I'm taking that as a sign that the thing died.
Or just the blood in our system.
So
just
that means that we
vanished.
could have cured this shit.
Yeah.
Ah, boy.
Well, maybe not. She was still alive.
That's the thing, we could have cured this shit. If they had not died, if they had only drank the blood, they would have, you know. Ah.
Once again, you've done it, Mike Flanagan.
Every show! Every show!
Every show hand in sadness.
2 songs from Titanic, too, like in one series. And did not expect that. And then also a music that vaguely remembered me of You Raise Me Up.
Yeah, me too.
Every time I watch a show by this guy, and I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm probably not gonna cry. Like, we're this far in the show, I'm not that, you know. I love the characters, but I'm not that close to every character. They get me. It was the same with Blind Manor. I thought I wasn't gonna cry, and then there you go.
You know what? We thought after watching the...
Oh, by the way, you wanted to begin with this tonight. We have other things to record.
We need to record other stuff, that's true.
Oh, boy.
We're gonna take a moment to
Yeah.
compose ourselves and we're gonna continue on. But yeah, we thought about it, and after watching the first and second episode, we're not that fond of show about religion in general, so
Yeah.
we were kind of rebuffed.
No,
But-
not rebuffed. Like, it's just really. It was the first 2 episodes were very religion forward, which, I mean, it makes sense considering how it ends. But and I mean, we were not gonna stop watching it
No, of
because of
course
that. It's just I told you guys about how when we were young we had to go to church and we had to basically follow all the rituals and do everything linked to Christianity because our parents were believers and we weren't. So it was boring. And we kind of had to force ourselves through it, and it gave me flashbacks of our childhood when we had to go to church and stuff. So it gave me those feelings, which is why we were saying off screen, you know, it's very religion forward, but there's got to be a reason for that. So we keep going, and of course there is. After that, though, everything just became better and better and better, and yeah. I mean, of course, it was gonna be tragic.
Yeah, I just want to say though that I'm gonna give a round of applause for the actress who played Beverly Keane, because she
made us hate her.
succeeded making us hate her character.
Oh, till
But
the very end.
She played it really, really well.
Yeah, we have nothing against the actress.
Oh no, she was amazing. The character was shit though, but the actress was just amazing.
She died, and that's the best because she dies her character dies in fear, and alone, and you know. Trying to fight it, kind of like they were saying, you know, we spread the word through religion and stuff that there's, I mean, some religions that there's something after death that you should be afraid of, because it's this beautiful idea that everyone should look forward to, and then everyone accepts it in the end but her.
But the mom did say though that when we are at the end of our life, we struggle and we close our way out to just keep living those few seconds, those few minutes.
But yeah, that's what I mean. A human being, a normal human being that, you know, even if they are religious, they wouldn't wish for death. You know, it's not like they want to die tomorrow. I mean, maybe not. I mean, maybe it's case by case, but I would say people, even if they dream of heaven, they wouldn't wish it for anyone, you know, sooner rather than later. But then that makes her, for her who thought she was better than everyone else and higher than everyone else and closer to God than anyone else, that's what she wanted to believe in the end, she's the only one who fought it and fought for those 3 minutes, which to me makes her seem, you know, very human, very flawed, and just like everyone else. So in that moment, she became the exact same thing that she despised. And she caused this. And that's why, you know,
The thing is, if she
I hate her
wasn't
character.
that not I don't want to say crazy, but she was really
She was delusional.
prompt to, oh my god, we're gonna burn everything, we're gonna make the church an ark and a symbol of her absolution, but she make them burn every single
what
opportunity
happened
to
is
survive.
we-
So she was the owner of her own doing.
Yes, we said at the beginning of the show that she was a nitpicker, that it felt like everything she believed was true. Her rules were the rules, and it was true for the entire show. In the end, she wanted to feel special. She wanted to feel like she was more important than everyone else. She was given this chance at, pursuing something. I think the priest, she tried to poison the priest when he started, getting more attention than she did, through his speeches and stuff, because he was no longer the priest that was losing his mind, So she tried to get rid of him, or at least get him sick. That didn't work. That brought something else, and she tried to manipulate that into something bigger. She was going to be the one to, at first she thought, the priest was going to be the one to do that, but it makes sense that she would reject the priest when he rejects the whole idea, when he realizes it's crazy.
Yeah.
She wanted to be the one to be like, see, I've been chosen by God. I bring to you this amazing thing that's going on. And everything that happened after which was a tragedy, she saw as another sign that, see, it's happening exactly like in the Bible. So I must be right. I've been chosen. So it was just feeding her delusion. And she was delusional till the very, very end, where she was like facing the sunrise and she realized she was going to die. And that's when she broke, which I thought was a beautiful writing. I think the whole show was beautifully written. This episode particularly was so beautiful, despite being really tragic.
It's also the fact that just before the end of it, everybody kind of realized what they've done during the night. Killing one's mother, killing friends, little children, doing horrible stuff.
And forgiving one another too.
They realize what happened, what they've done.
And I think, they all, it's the idea of guilt too. Basically, we have the priest, for example, who went his entire life regretting stuff that happened or didn't happen. And that's why he wished for another chance. He wished that he could go back to being young and having that opportunity to be with his family, which is a very human, emotion. It's kind of saying, you should try to live your life as guilt-free as possible. You should live your life to the fullest and live those experiences. Go get those experiences. Go travel. Go meet those people. Live like there is no tomorrow, because you don't know when the end is going to come. Instead of living with the idea that, eventually, it will get better, because heaven is, not taking care of the journey and focusing only on the end. Because when you get to the end, the journey will be full of guilt and full of regrets. So take care of the journey, so then after, when you get to the end, you don't have those regrets. And he didn't do that. He was, he was full of sadness when it comes to how he lived his life, and he wanted another chance, which technically he got, but then look how that turned out. I do pity him. I don't blame him much, because he's very,
The thing is, we know that for the priest at least, what he didn't come from
a bad intention. And he didn't want things to go like this either.
No, he didn't.
He never intended, I think, for those who who didn't come to church to die in this way. Like, he wanted to give them an opportunity to see and decide for themselves, but then Beverly just stripped them of that choice, and in the end, they were overtaken by the instinct to drink blood and kill. They did realize what was going on, and I love that, kind of like Riley did. Sorry, it's the emotions. They forgave each other.
Yeah.
Why am I crying again? I'm making myself cry by talking about this, but yeah.
And I really love the fact that yes, this show was about what fate can do to people in the extreme or not, what addiction can do to people, because the father said it best, like, he felt these urges, this hunger inside of him, but that didn't change him. He was still himself, and he didn't let himself go into those urges. the other one, everybody else beside him and the mom, let himself be consumed by those urges.
Which is why they needed to be the ones to forgive one another at the end, I think. You know, they had to face the fact. And I think that's why it's beautiful that they all gathered and sang together, because since they were they made peace with what happened, they were forgiving one another, they could face death in serenity and in peace. And, yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen to...
I'm trying to speak and I keep crying.
So, everybody on that island died.
Well, no, we have 2 kids, which is funny because it's basically Adam and Eve, if you think about it. We have 1 boy, 1 girl, they survived. And,
they cannot roll 30 miles on water.
No, but who's to say that they have to stay away? You know, they can come back.
And are you going to be able to restore the shoreline?
Eventually, the ferry will come back.
You need to call him back, though.
Even if they don't call him back, like, they'll find a way. They'll find a way. And if they don't, like, people will notice the flames, you know, it will show.
I hope so.
Anyway, at least, you know, she's back to being in a wheelchair, but she's going to be cured of that disease. So if she dies, she won't come back, which is great. And, yeah, I think, I can't speak at all. The idea in this show of, you know, what religion is, what faith is, what death is, it's beautiful because we got so many different perspectives. You know, we got the church's perspective, we got Beverly Keane's perspective, but then, and also the monologue at the end when I was about to call her Riley.
Aaron?
When Aaron died was, once again, beautiful. And I think it, by the way, like, whatever you believe, I thought it was a beautiful way of interpreting, you know, religion and what it preaches. So, kind of like, you know, when I'm saying I want to imagine that God is a set of values that we should follow. Well, this is kind of the show's take on what religion and God is. And I thought it was really beautiful. And, it made the thing very bittersweet. I'm sensible about death. Sorry. This discussion is impossible because every time I talk about something, I just start crying. It's not even the show anymore. I think I'm just making myself cry more. You put Titanic music, death.
And you're done. You're just
choirs, done. 2 choirs get me. Oh boy.
I
want to discuss more, but like I just can't fucking speak, so you go.
I like the fact that this show wasn't just about a horror show. It was very human, very tragic in itself.
Yeah.
People were looking for second chances, like Riley's family with their son, the priest and his and the love of his life and his daughter. Lisa with the fact that she had a second chance at life by working again, or even Joe with or Lisa's forgiveness. But
that's the thing, like, we talked about the priest, about how, you know, he wanted a second chance at life with his family, and then you got Lisa, who's in a wheelchair, who got a second chance at walking.
I just said that.
Bad stuff happens to people. Consequences, choices, tragedies. It's bad. Not only do we have to, you know, look to the future and focus on, you know, the stuff we can do now to make that future brighter, but we gotta accept that some tragedies we won't be able to stop. Some stuff we won't be able to change. You know, we gotta live with the consequences. And living in the past is not a good idea. Living with the regrets is not a good idea. Like I said, you know, it's not about the end, kind of like the priest was saying when he was losing it, you know, saying how whatever happens, and, you know, it doesn't matter because all that matters is the destination. You need to make the most of your journey and try to let go of those things, which is why I was saying the true miracle in this show that we really saw was when Lisa went and forgave Joe, because she had the courage to basically let go of that remorse as much as possible and set him on a good path. That was the true miracle. She couldn't do that when she was in a wheelchair, and no one can actually blame her for that.
Oh.
But you know, it's not by wishing that yes, you can wish for a while that those things never happen, but then you gotta live with them, and hoping that, you know, and a miracle is not erasing the bad stuff that happens. The bad stuff that happens is unfortunate, but it gives you the motivation to change things from now on. I'm not wishing bad stuff on anyone though, for sure. But it happens. That's the harsh reality.
True.
You can't just erase it and move on. You can't just, you know, get rid of the guilt. You need to deal with the guilt. You need to deal with it, and then you'll be at peace. And I think that was a beautiful way of showing it. Through Riley, through the people at the end, through the priest. Yeah. I think the show was beautifully written. And I really loved those...
I can't wait to see what's gonna come next with Mike
They're
Flanagan.
doing an adaptation of a Edgar Allan Poe story,
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
nice.
So, I mean, like, I guess we'll see it.
Of course, gonna watch it.
But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I really loved, like I said, the speech about what death was and what happened after death. The use of music, perfect. It takes guts also to talk about a subject like that, because I mean it's religion, which is always touchy. It's I mean, death is always a good. I mean, they do that a lot. They did that in Bly. They did that in Hill House. They're doing it here. You know, the concept of death and what happens after and stuff. Like, this one was less complicated when it comes to, you know, the storylines and everything, but the message is still pretty intense. And I really, especially for that last episode, which I'm still crying over, you know. Yes, I am very glad we watched this, and I am excited to see how people are gonna watch this online. There are a few people reacting to it that I'm you know, following. I think I'm gonna go see if I'm the only one who cried.
All right. So
Sorry, you know, for being a mess, but these shows do that to me.
shit happens. It happens. It's
No, but I'm always like this when the concept of death, whenever it's, you know, tackled by TV shows in a similar way, you know, with the right music, the right characters.
I'd say for me that's more about when you're talking about friends or family. When something like that happens to one's family, it gets me. Always. Always.
That could get me, but not in this concept.
That did in Hill House. That did it with Bly Manor, and that is once again with Riley's family and the mom and the sons, and the priest family with the mom and Sarah. Yeah.
Not always for me. Like, sometimes, yes, this would help, but death as a whole is a difficult subject to witness, especially when it's done right, and it was. So yeah, I will stop before I start crying again.
Yeah,
so
you're still a mess.
I am fragile today. Sorry. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this show with us. It is Halloween, but we're a crying mess instead of being terrified. I did expect to, you know, witness a tragedy here, because, I mean, it's Mike Flanagan. He always does that. It wasn't horror to me, but it still had one or two jump scares for you, and it was that was cool. A lot of mysteries.
Well, it is technically horror, but that's not the main theme of the show.
The goal of this wasn't to scare us, which is fine, because in my opinion, and I've said it before, a good horror show or a good horror movie can be just about horror for sure, but a good one needs to tell a story, and to tell a good story which reaches people, it also needs to be, you know, something else. You know, it needs to have a message, and usually that's the drama part of horror. Horror comes from, you know, the uncertainty, and death is usually present in horror, but it was tackled in a very sad way in this show, and I really liked it, and I'm glad we watched it, like I said. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this journey with us. Happy Halloween once again, unless you're on Patreon. And yeah, we'll see you in another TV show for another reaction.
Thank you guys for watching this season with us, and see you for the next one that Mike Flanagan's gonna make, I guess.
Whenever it comes out. Anyway.
See ya.